Welcome, my friend. This is a new video. It's one of the videos I'm used to presenting to you. They are not the boring videos that provide little value, videos that are devoid of dopamine but full of the value that has been missing these days. I've noticed recently that many people have been asking me for more of the books I recommend to you, or books that could benefit you. But you see, my friend, there's a famous saying that explains why less is often more. Sometimes, less information means fewer resources, less work. It might be better. And if you ask me how that's possible, I can explain it to you, like the relationship between iron and gold. Gold is far more valuable than iron, but there's less of it. So, here's the idea. I don't want to give you 10 books. You take those 10 books, maybe you read 3, understand 1, and apply none. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to take just one book. Understand it, benefit from it, and apply it. That's it. Are you following me? Why less? Are you really benefiting from this book? Instead of taking 10 books and not benefiting from any of them at all. Because in the end, books are information, and information requires understanding and awareness, and after understanding this information, you need to apply it. So, my friend, in this video, I will briefly explain one book. After that, I want you to take this book, download it, read it once, read it twice. The important thing is to understand it completely. After understanding it, apply what's in it. Then, you will truly have achieved the change you desire. If you read the book, it doesn't mean you applied it. If you read the book, it doesn't mean you understood it in the first place. So, keep this point in mind. Always before you read any book. Because people often tell me, wow, you seem like someone who reads a lot of books. I don't read many books. I read one book a night. I understand it, and I apply what's in it. This applies not only to books but also to podcasts, videos, literally everything. So, people see me or meet me as someone with more knowledge than others, simply because I execute, because I understand. So, the book I'm going to recommend to you today, my friend, is The 4-Hour Workweek. That's where I started to understand the basics of wealth. It's not just about money. Money is a part of wealth, but not the entire wealth. But if we specifically look at what wealth is, we'll see that it's freedom. Freedom of place and freedom of time. And money? Well, let's see, my friend, naturally, we all seek money. I mean, when we're born, we don't even know what money is, but we naturally seek freedom. We build our lives to go where we want, when we want, and get what we want. For example, if you're working a job that consumes your time and requires you to be at a specific place at a specific time, then you have limited time and limited freedom. So, you have to start thinking about how you can gain more freedom. But you might have the freedom of money, the ability to buy what you want. We're actually pursuing these 3 freedoms, not just money alone. Unless you want to know how to achieve these 3 freedoms, keep following along with this segment, and then I'll go read the book and understand it, and then apply what's in it. Now, as a starting point, consider working as an employee. It's often a lousy system, like being a plumber. Let's assume you're a plumber. A plumber has to work on the job by themselves, be present at a specific place at a specific time. So, they are bound by both time and place. And most of the time, the result of this is that they are also bound by money because their time and energy are limited, and they have to do all the work themselves. They won't achieve much to rely on. So, as long as they continue in this job, they won't get any significant results. So, my friend, this is the last place I recommend you to be, where you're bound by a specific time and place and obligated to sell your time and energy. But let's take a step further and consider working independently, not for someone else but for yourself. So, for example, the video doctor has a job that places them in a better position than the plumber because they have freedom over the place they work from and to some extent, the time they use. But you still haven't achieved the complete freedom you desire because you still have limited time and limited energy. Yes, you can work from anywhere, but your time is still limited, and your energy is limited too. In reality, your time and energy are your most valuable resources. You own them, and you really don't own anything else. So, it surprises me when people waste an hour or two just to save $5 or $10. You could have used that time for something better, used that energy for better things. But you decided to devalue your time. This doesn't make sense at all. So, the bottom line is that, as I was saying, the video doctor is better off than the plumber because they have freedom over their place of work and some freedom over their time, but they still haven't achieved complete financial freedom because they have limited time and limited energy, and they can't surpass them. So, here's the idea, my friend. You always need to position yourself in a way that you expend the least energy and the least time to achieve the greatest results. Now, let's move on to the next idea, which is that you must strive for the big things that not many people are pursuing. So, let's think about it. We have two paths in front of us. One is short and easy but crowded with people. Literally, crowded with people, and everyone is competing to get ahead first. The reward in this path is small because everyone will eventually get it. So, either you'll get a smaller share of the reward, or you'll take less of it because everyone is getting it. The other path is longer, and walking on it is harder. But there's a bigger treasure, and indeed, nobody else has it. This means that when you reach the end and take the treasure, you won't have to share it with anyone else. You get to keep it all to yourself. So, my friend, you don't always have to chase after what everyone else is pursuing. The dog chases that. Go on the difficult path. Work harder than others. Pursue something that everyone else is not going after. When you do this, it will eliminate competition for you. Let me give you an example. If the entire market is offering average perfumes ranging from $10 to $100, and you introduce a unique perfume priced at $1,000, you won't actually target everyone. You won't target the poor, and you won't even target the middle-income group. Instead, you'll be targeting the upper class. So, instead of selling 10 low-priced products, you sell one high-priced product and end up making more profit than all of them combined. In reality, the competition is very low or almost non-existent because hardly anyone has the courage to sell at such a price. They know that if they are selling at this price, they must deliver exceptional value in return. Providing this value means you have to work more. So, here's the idea, people are not willing to work harder to get greater value. So, my friend, I started avoiding competition around me by essentially not allowing it to exist. I don't let anyone compete with me. If your price is far from everyone else's and the value you provide is greater than what everyone else offers, you will get better results. For example, in this channel, I don't do any editing or anything. I just provide the content itself. Even with this simplicity, my channel grows faster than many others because I'm delivering a significant value essentially for free. The same information you can find in courses that charge $1,000 or $2,000, and I'm giving it to you for free. I don't want anything from you except the time you spend watching this video. This, my friend, builds greater trust in people. Regardless of the bad reputation some paid courses have these days, people are willing to buy from me because I have actually provided them with significant value for free. My free content has given them much greater value, making them confident that if they buy something from me, it will be worth it. So, people will consider paying more because the free value I've been offering them has been substantial, far exceeding the value they got from paid courses. My free content has worked for them and provided them with significant value. People will think that if the free content is this good, what will I get if I pay? So, my friend, offering substantial value for free can be incredibly powerful. That's very good, it was even better than paid courses. So, imagine if he gave us the real value he has, how would it be? People are not stupid, my friend. People always differentiate between what's good and what's bad. So, all you need to do is to create a good product. Something that provides significant value to the people around you, whether it's a perfume, a car, or even a bathroom. Make a good product because that's the foundation. The second idea the book talks about is that fixing your weaknesses leads to slow improvement in your situation, but enhancing your strengths, the things you're good at, can produce big results. So, from my perspective, you should focus on enhancing your strengths and use others to cover your weaknesses. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a business selling electrical wires to companies, and you're excellent at product development, you have a great internal management system, and excellent customer support. But your weakness is in closing deals and sales. You're not good at convincing people to buy your product. So, the idea here, my friend, is that you should hire someone to do the selling for you. In short, you need to employ someone who can sell for you because this person will fill the gap you have. This will allow you to improve in all areas without putting in extra effort. Do you understand the concept, my friend? You can focus on your product, its development, and improving your company internally, while you bring in someone who excels at sales. And here, we go back to the first point, you don't have to be a cheap person. When I say cheap, I mean you don't have to skimp on things that are worth it. If something is worth $5, don't pay $6 just because it's worth $5. But if something is going to benefit you and it's worth $10,000, pay it because in the end, while you might lose $10,000, you'll receive value greater than that $10,000. So, it's worth paying that substantial amount. The next idea from the book, my friend. It means that just because you've started something doesn't mean you have to finish it. Losing in one thing doesn't mean you have to compensate for your loss in it. Let me give you an example. Suppose your parents forced you to enroll in a specific university or program, and after a year or two, you realize that this program or university doesn't suit you. In this case, it's not necessary to continue with it just because you've invested a year or two. If you continue, you'll lose even more time from your life. So, in reality, by leaving, you'll have gained the time that you would have otherwise lost. Sometimes, losing can be a win. Cut your losses from the beginning and move on to something that will really work for you. Another idea from the book, which I like to call one-time effort versus ongoing effort, is that if you're going to put in a lot of effort into something throughout the month, it's better to do it once and take a full day out of your schedule than to spend 2 hours every day for the entire month. For instance, if you receive a lot of notifications on your phone from various apps, set your phone to airplane mode. If you have many contacts that don't provide any value or consume your time without reason, cut those relationships, my friend. And this principle applies literally to anything in life. For example, if you're a person who spends hours at your desk working continuously and finds yourself getting up every half hour or so to get a glass of water, it's better to have a water supply next to you and drink from it. I personally do this, I drink a lot of water. So, instead of wasting a minute or two every half hour getting up to drink water, I keep a large quantity of water next to me. Whenever I need to drink, I don't think I waste a minute or two getting up, I just grab the water from beside me. It might seem trivial, but in reality, it's not. Those minutes you're saving are not trivial, they are minutes you're giving back to yourself, my friend. It's not just the first 2 minutes, it's 3 minutes when you open your phone. I'll explain this because the explanation will be a bit long. But believe me, you have to do this. For example, if you're thinking about what to eat every day or for each meal, most likely you need to decide what you want to eat at the beginning of the day, or even better, decide what you want to eat for the whole week for all your meals. If you're the one cooking for yourself, it's better to take a whole day or week to go shopping for all the groceries you need and cook all your meals for a whole week, storing them in small containers. So, whenever you're hungry, you can just grab a box from the fridge and eat without thinking about what to cook or how to buy groceries. Otherwise, what are you going to eat in the first place? These things, my friend, save you a lot of time, you know. Now, the second idea from the book is this: if something concerns you and no one gives it to you, don't ask anyone for permission. For example, if you want to join a specific department at the university different from what your parents want for you, go ahead and do it. Enroll in the department you want, and then tell them. Tell them that you didn't choose the department they wanted, you chose the department you wanted. They might be upset with you for a while, they might be annoyed, and there might be some arguments, but in the end, you chose what suits you, not what suits them. and you're ready to take responsibility for the consequences. So, here's the idea, my friend, don't go and tell them that you're going to change the department before you change it, because they will try to prevent it as if you've already changed it. And secondly, they will keep reminding you of the negative aspects that could result from this, but in their lives, they won't remind you of the positive things that could come out of it. Here's the idea, my friend, choose what suits you, then tell people. Yes, they might be your family, but in the end, it's your life, and you're responsible for it, and you'll be held accountable for your actions. Don't worry about it. The second idea from the book is to work less and achieve more. You see, my friend, you need to create a system or a process for everything. You should make a system where it works on its own, so if you bring someone off the street who knows nothing about what you're working on, they can quickly learn and start working. Let me give you an example. Global restaurants, for instance, have systems and rules for everything. Cutting potatoes has specific machines. The system for taking orders and queuing up is well defined. The time it takes to deliver an order in India is specified. Even the food they prepare follows the same process in all restaurants. So, here's the idea, my friend, create systems for everything, so even if you bring someone off the street who knows nothing about what you do, can they work? Or, even better, can they work with the same efficiency because any task they have will have a specific system and steps they can follow? Always create systems, my friend, because you will save your time, other people's time, and you'll be able to employ people who can handle the work you do. Furthermore, if one day you decide to sell the business you've been working on, you can do it easily because the systems are already in place. It's not dependent on you anymore, it's built on the systems. For example, e-commerce, my friend. When you start, you'll likely be responsible for everything: inventory, promotion, product quality, customer support, and so on. If you withdraw from the business at any moment, the entire business would collapse. However, if you create a system, it will keep running. For instance, organizing products and their delivery and printing the brand on them can be the job of suppliers, not you. Ordering products from suppliers for customers who bought from you can be done with a click because you'll be using software that gathers all the orders from your customers and orders them from the suppliers in a single click. You can hire someone to provide customer support and manage promotion and content creation. So, my friend, if you withdraw from the business, even for an extended period, the business will continue to operate. It won't collapse. So, the idea, my friend, is that you always need to create business systems that work on their own. Don't burden yourself, let the business work on its own. Because, in the end, you have limited energy and limited time. If you decide to exit the business and sell it, it won't collapse because it's not dependent on you. It relies on predefined systems. Some things in our lives consume a lot of our time, my friend, every single day. But if we think about it, we can sit down, create a system for it once, and literally save ourselves months or even years of effort. So, my friend, always create systems. Of course, this was just a brief summary of the book because I haven't directly read from the book. I shared with you the things I learned from the book and applied. I don't remember every detail from the book, but this is the general idea. In simple terms, I haven't read you a specific script, so you need to go back and review the entire book, read it once, twice, and 3 times, understand it, and apply it, my friend, because if you don't apply it, you haven't done anything. If you take courses from now until 10 years from now and don't apply them, you won't benefit. If you take weight loss courses from now until 20 years from now and don't apply them and don't work on yourself, you won't benefit at all. If you spend your entire day listening to religious lessons, but in the end, you haven't acted upon them, you won't benefit. Also, you won't just enter paradise because knowledge is with Allah. But the idea is clear, you have to work to achieve the results, learn about them, understand them, this is the thing. Just working alone is not enough. Put in the effort and time needed to achieve the results you desire. When you sit alone with your thoughts,